You know, I'm really getting absolutely fascinated by this. Matter of fact, Al was just telling me that you can write to source.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. President, whatever.
Yeah. The idea isn't to write to somebody that's on the top of the charts right about now, because the likelihood of them even seeing your letter is very slim. But if you catch people on the downside, a good example, if you caught former presidents. Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, that type of thing. You have a very good chance of having them sign, especially their books. They love to sign their books.
So what do you do? You send them a copy of the book?
Yeah, there's two keys to the whole thing. This kind of separates that old term from being an autograph hound, which is really not a desirable characteristic. You take the initiative by providing the item that you want signed, or the photo, or the book, or whatever, or the card. It could be very simple.
What do you mean the card?
We could have some people just, collect simple signatures on a card. Or if you wanted to go for the more provocative item, if you can engage them into a conversation on paper, if you can get a good content letter, that's always worth more than anything. Because then you have their thoughts on paper, and that's always worth something. And you just, provide that with return postage. Because if you don't include return postage, why should that person even respond to you?
Now, how do you get their addresses?
Most libraries carry a Who's Who section, and most Who's Who's will give you either addresses that you can reach them by, agencies, whatever, or the subscription to the Pen and Quill. We usually put in names and addresses of people that do respond. Notables such as authors, statesmen, actors, performers, whoever. It's a wide variety. Supreme Court justices. There's so many variable areas that you can collect in.
How would anybody know what the photograph is worth? Let's say I have some photographs, autographs. How do you know what they're worth if I don't belong to the club?
If you didn't belong to the club, you best rely on an expert. There are experts in the South Florida area that are very good at appraising the items, depending, of course, what the items are. Depends on what the specialties are, but you can usually find somebody to do it. But find somebody that is a member of the organization, because they are more of an ethical practice. You don't want to be taken down the road, because in any hobby there's always abuses.
There was abuses, and you wrote a book on how to find out if the signature is authentic.
Oh, sure.
As a matter of fact, you brought some examples.
Yeah, I had brought a few things.
How about one of Ronald Reagan?
This is, I guess we saw what an authentic looks like. This is what Ronald sends out now. It's just a printed item. It's a really attractive item, but it's printed. It's actually valueless, if that's the term in the autographic sense. I guess for a keepsake, it's an interesting item, but it has really virtually no value autographically speaking. It's a good reference, if nothing else.
You have some others.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart has always been a fascinating. It's a very expensive autograph, and people have spent quite a bit of money on it. And we've set up, this is one of the educational displays that we usually show at the shows that we have, and it illustrates the different types of signatures. You have secretarials, printed, and stamped. These are actual rubber stamps that you would use, even some people would say, any kind of things that rubber stamps would do, but they're very difficult to tell unless you have a trained eye. And that's basically what you have to develop, is a trained eye to know what to look for. And that's pretty much it. You have to be educated to what you're investing in. If you're not...
What if I had a Humphrey Bogart photograph that was signed?
Authentic.
Authentic. I think it's authentic. I don't know.
Then you would get it confirmed to be authentic.
Well, now let's say I went to the show. What do I do? Go to anybody there?
There'll be at least 20 dealers from all around the country, and there'll be at least 10 that specialize in entertainment. And out of those 10, you would get 10 opinions. And if 10 of the opinions come back, 10 saying the same thing, you know what you have. Occasionally, you'll have a disagreement within the ranks, and that happens, I guess, with anything. It's a matter of opinion. Depending on the experience of the person, depending on what he's actually looking at. Some things are harder to tell than others, and that's where you have the experts come in. Let them do the thinking.
There was a time I used to collect coins, and I found out that if I went to a coin collector A, I get one price. Coin collector B, quite a different price.
Exactly.
Now, would that happen with
most definitely. You're talking about dealers offering to buy the items, I expect. And usually when a dealer offers to buy it, he's going to offer you a lot less than the appraised value is, because the dealer has to make the money on it. He has to stock it, he has to either catalog it, he has to insure it. These are all costly ventures. Depending on what the dealer's overhead is the type of price that he's going to offer you, and depending on if he has a customer for it. that's the kind of price you're going to be offered. If it's a common piece and it's an item that is around, you're going to be offered less, and you have to be prepared to take that. The best course of action, if you had a valuable piece, in my opinion, would be to go to an auction house to see what an auction would have a good price realized on.
Is that any kind of an auction? I mean,
no, there are the ones that I would recommend. There are very few of them that I'd recommend, but one of the largest in New York City would be either the Sotheby's auction or the Herman Darvick auctions, and there's a good one in Washington, D.C. out of Bethesda called the Waverly auctions. They specialize in autographs.
How would I get their addresses and so on?
All they'd have to do is write to the UACC at...
United Autograph?
Yeah, Universal Autograph Collectors Club,
all right.
And in Washington, D.C., and we'd glad to send them a list. We can't recommend an individual. We can recommend a number of individuals, and you make your own selection. We won't do that.
And then what do you call the auction gallery?
And see if they're interested. Usually what they'll ask you to do is either send the item by registered mail or send a copy. You can usually photostat these items fairly easily. But all of them have very high reliability factors, so it's not like you're losing the item when you send it to them. They're very, capable people, and they handle millions of dollars worth of items all through the year.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a really educational seminar.
We strive to be more educational than we are. I guess people, try to equate it with like the baseball card shows where you have a celebrity and people swamp the celebrity with as many baseballs as they can get signed. Ours is a little more low-key than that. Ours is more of a familiar...
But you want to have celebrities?
Yes, we intend to. Yes, we've hired Butch Bond from the Little Rascals.
Oh, yes.
He used to beat up on everybody.
As a matter of fact, here is some of your promotional literature, and I don't know if they can come in on this, but there's Butch Bond.
Right. And we have Jake Beezer. Jake Beezer is the only man to hold the distinction for flying on both B-29s that dropped both atomic bombs. And a very interesting man. He just wrote a new book called Hiroshima Revisited, right. And he's there to promote the book and meet our people.
Now, is his signature worth anything?
Well, I'll tell you, it is worth. We're selling the photos with his signature, exactly that photo, for $6. I've already seen them in dealers' catalogs for $25.
Is that right?
So,
well, he's going to be a guest on my show.
Yes, he is. A delightful man.
Gee, maybe I can get him to sign this.
Why not? We'll have a photo brought, and he'll sign the photo for you.
Wonderful. And then I've made $25.
Just about.
All I have to do is sell it.
All you have to do is find a buyer.
Right. Now, at your show, you're going to have autographs that sell from what to what?
Anything from $1 probably up to $5,000, $6,000. And possibly some items that are a little higher.
What would you imagine a Saddam Hussein would bring?
Interestingly enough, we've been asked about that. It's a conjecture because I haven't seen one come to market yet. I've never seen one.
You may see him come to market.
Yes, we might see him before we see the autograph. I do recall that we did have an Ayatollah Khomeini during the time when the Ayatollah was alive, and just a signature sold at auction for $750. That broke the record of a living personality at that time. On a signature, just basic signature. I would imagine during these times that Hussein, just because of that, would probably be worth something. See, people have...
We've got to take a break.